number 7, bill number 1450, code section 7103, duties of chief of police. And number 8 is the wastewater project pre-construction meeting. Do those items need to get distributed to the public?
If they want copies of the resolutions.
They're on the table, if anyone wants them. Is there a motion to approve the agenda with those 3 additions? If we have no approval of the agenda, we cannot go forward with this meeting.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as what was written up.
Without the 3
Okay,
of,
Mayor, if I may, I'd like to have a word. Okay, it seems like every time we come in, we're given this stuff at the last minute, and I have no time whatsoever to go over this. I do not mind changing the agenda, but I haven't had any time to read over this bill ordinance, anything whatsoever to do with this. And I think that is a disservice to the people of Mountain View that we don't get time to study such. Now, I understand what this is for, Horn and Chipper, I understand. But when I say that we're constantly changing the agenda and it's not fair to the public, it is not fair to the public. They should have time also to look this over. So I will make a motion to approve the agenda that we have right here and add the Horn and Chipper, but the other ones I will not.
okay, is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda with only the 1 addition of the wastewater project pre-construction meeting, which is with Horn and Chipper. Is there any further discussion? If not, we need a roll call vote.
Coulter,
Aye.
McAdams,
Aye.
Perry,
Aye.
Wallander.
Aye.
Okay, our first item of business, Mason Vandervoort, a volunteer firefighter. If you will, come and address this, please. The one thing I want to caution you about, though, any specifics to yourself or any other individual employee, any compensation,
Yes, ma'am.
we cannot discuss it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm gonna sip my water here because I figured everyone's gonna have quite a few questions. So, I sent out a packet, I think it was Tuesday, to kind of give our plan forward. Overall, I just kind of wanted to open up to you guys and let you ask questions, so you can get to know it a little bit better, and we can discuss specifics in there if we need to adjust anything, or.
I want to ask first, who developed this?
So I work with Joey and Jason primarily on how I first talked to Jason and seen how he wanted to push the department forward after he left. And then I talked with Joey to discuss specific roles and responsibilities and what he would be able to cover versus what I can cover. And then I developed the plan and presented it to you.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm just open for questions. I don't know if there's anything specific that you guys want me to tell you about, or overall, the plan moving forward, starting with Jason, we're gonna do a 2 interim chief position. So Joey will be primarily responsible for the operations side, so that will cover any kind of emergency calls. I will handle more of the admin side. So I put him as chief of operations, and I would be chief of administrative and logistics.
Did you draw this up as a team, or did you do this on your own?
So I drew that up as on my own. However, I went with the guidance of both of them. This plan is typically how we will run, even with a one-person chief or a two-person chief. There's really not a big change, other than I'll handle administrative and logistics side of it. Joey's gonna handle fireground operations.
Okay, just for the public, the leadership structure that he has typed up here. Chief Delkin would be fireground operations, leads all emergency responses, manages apparatus and equipment readiness, and assumes incident command at fire and MVA scenes. I'm assuming that's motor vehicle accident.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief Vandervoort would be administration and logistics, oversees financial management, payroll, compliance, equipment documentation, personnel records, reporting, and serves as the primary liaison to city council. The shared responsibilities will be training programs in firefighter readiness, departmental SOP, SOG reviews and updates, joint leadership, decision-making, and communication. If one chief is unavailable, the other assumes full command. If both are unavailable, Captain Randolph will assume command. And who is Captain Randolph?
That is Kyle Randolph. He is our captain. So he, right now, typically is in charge of training all of our personnel, and he's got experience enough that we feel comfortable putting him in that position if both of us are gone.
And he is a volunteer.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we going to put an ad for a chief, a fire chief? Run an ad for that?
Yes, that'll have to be a discussion in closed session for personnel regarding compensation.
So kind of moving over to the department overview and transition logistics. Currently, we've got 13 active firefighters. We had to adjust the number. Yours will say 14, I believe. We had to adjust that number. Operational readiness, we've only had one incident this year of what's called zero status. That's when we had 0 units available to respond to a call. We had, I think, 3 simultaneous incidents going on at one time. Our call volume, right now, we're sitting at, I believe it's 419 calls. Last year, we ran 411. We're averaging about a 20% increase in call volume per year, so that should shove us up over 600 this year. Coverage, we serve about 5,000 residents, 2,500 inside city limits, another 2,500 outside city limits. And I believe it's a 60 square mile radius that we cover. And then kind of moving on to the logistics side of it, we'll have to discuss the city cell phone and decide what happens with that. We'll have to discuss the city vehicle. There's some things that we need council's, I guess, guidance on to determine how we would transition all of that. Promotion-wise, me and Joey have decided for the first 30 days, like no promotions, no changing people's positions around, just to kind of let the dust settle, kind of see where everything is. I've been through this 3 times now, and Joey's been through it 4, getting a new chief. 2 of my 3 times, we were down to 2 firefighters the next day. So that's what we're trying to prevent from happening. Going on over into immediate and upcoming priorities. I'm gonna do final meetings with Chief Tabor through tomorrow, just making sure that we have everything lined up. October 1st, I plan to transition us from InFirst to NARIS. That is our federal reporting website. We have to put all of our call information into them. It's a pretty big transition. I'm still working on it, and I've been working on it for about 15 to 20 days now. In October, we're planning on trying to make sure that payroll is processed correctly on time, or the totals for payroll is delivered to city council on time. Joey is gonna work on trying to get somewhat of a schedule of upcoming maintenance on trucks. I know at the beginning of the year, we're gonna have pump testing coming up on all of our trucks, and then they'll have to start going down for service ever so often. Shared priorities, we're gonna look at doing a fire meeting on October 7th and October 21st. That's our 2 regular scheduled meetings. The first one, we're gonna try to gather some input, see how the department feels with this whole transitional phase. And then we'll use the 21st meeting to gather more information from them and see how they feel like it's going. That way we can make any kind of adjustments or changes that we need to move forward. I'd like to do an end of the month review with either the city administrator or with the board, just to kind of get their input and see how they feel like everything's going, or any adjustments that they need made. I know coming up in November to January timeframe, we've got the budgeting stuff. I'd like to start trying to get the fire department over to a proactive budget versus a reactive budget. I feel like we deal with that a lot, and I feel like we can make some adjustments out there that could help that. We need to start developing a comprehensive training and retention program, because we're not getting any applications, just like every other fire department across America. And we've got 13 people right now. Accountability benchmarks, we're looking at, financial and administrative accuracy and timeliness of the payroll, on-time submission of the budget draft, operational readiness. We're using weekly documentation of equipment checks, and then personnel and morale analysis of member satisfaction and feedback following the October meetings. From there, it just kind of goes back into your guys' feedback, letting you guys ask questions. I'd like to know your guys' expectations moving forward. I feel like that's important for us to know. And then I want to give you guys a chance to give me anything that you find like imperative that gets done in the next 30 to 60 or 90 days.
Okay, are there any questions from the council? And I guess the motion that needs to be made is if you want to adopt this restructure as presented, and compensation will have to be discussed in the closed session.
Couple of questions.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. Any idea, number of calls 4 years ago? Are we looking maybe 5 years down the road where we're gonna have 2, maybe 3 full-time employees out there? I know that Mountain Grove at this point in time, I believe, has 3 full-time employees. I don't know about Willow Springs. I don't know what West Plains is doing, of course, they're a lot bigger than we are. Mountain Grove has a population of approximately 38 to 4,000. Are we looking at that number of calls? Maybe, what's your percentage increase?
About 20%, and it fluctuates just a little bit about every year. So, like
So
20,
basically in 5 years, you're
looking at 1,000 plus calls. Right now, because I work EMS for in Mountain Grove with Texas County, they run about 1,200 calls a year through Rycom.
Right,
That's just their fire department.
right.
I think it'd probably be 5 to 6 years before we see that kind of number. But realistically, we're already at the point where we're gonna need at least 1 to 2 full-time people. And I've actually got, there was a question proposed to me yesterday, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough information of just the workload, because I know a lot of times you guys have to just infer information about there. So I broke it down to just for us to be compliant, I've got handouts if you guys would like them. It breaks down exactly how much time it's taken out there every single day. If you guys would like them, I'll go ahead and give them out. So
How long is it for each report?
So each ESO report takes about 30 minutes to write. Now, if it's a fire, then you're gonna look at a little bit longer. I think I've got 6 of them there. If it's a brush fire, then you gotta look at ESO and a Missouri Department of Conservation grant. I got one for you guys as well. I'm gonna print 6 of them. And that's just one report. We ran 411 calls last year. This year,
537 much.
537, sorry, my number was off. The very last page, you're gonna kind of see a breakdown. I gave you a timeline of exactly what a call looks like, and that's just for a brush fire. We've had 33 of them this year. It's 193 hours. If you ask someone to run that call, restock afterwards, and then the reporting that goes in afterwards, it's about 4 hours and 26 minutes per call, and we've had 23 of them, or 33 of them.
And these were all here, not just any of it mutual?
So some of those are mutual aids. We had quite a, I don't know the exact breakdown of the amount that were mutual aids versus just in our district. However, we've got signed mutual aid agreements with 8 departments that we're obligated to go to and help. Not only that, on the administrative side, every week you need to be looking at your SCBA's. Sometimes the bottle doesn't get refilled. Sometimes, the batteries go dead. So you've got to look at, I've got to check every bottle. We've got 12 SCBA's in service right now. That takes about 15 minutes for me to run through a check. So you got to multiply that by 12, and that's every week that's got to be checked. Every 3 months, I'm changing batteries on almost 100 different things. It's a lot of time consuming, it's meticulous time consuming stuff. And if you look at trying to run all of the calls, doing all the admin stuff, there's not enough time. You will be over every week.
Wouldn't the one being, going to brush fires or house fires, I guess that would be other co, wouldn't he be responsible for doing the batteries and stuff?
He can, that would be Joey. Joey will help with that. However, I've still got to track it on all of my 300 spreadsheets that I have.
Has he read all this that you did?
Yeah, I gave copies to everyone.
Joy, do you want to say anything?
I'm just here.
Does the council have any other questions? Does the council want to make a motion on this restructure proposal? And I might ask the city administrator if you have anything to add to this?
I don't.
Okay.
The only thing I gotta say about it, I don't want it to be one-sided and one person trying to take over when there's co. I can see a lot of problems with that.
When, for a call situation, you don't want to see someone one-sided for a call?
No, for the whole operations of having codes. I don't want one person overriding everything else.
100%. And that's actually listed in our conflict resolution. So if me and Joey have a disagreement, we're going to go in front of our officer board we're gonna discuss it with them. Because a lot of them have years of experience in there, so they're gonna be able to weigh in on the situation, and then we can make a better decision going forward. However, with this, me and Joey both have the shared view of the fire department continuing.
Okay, if this is to move forward, we need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion has been made to accept this restructure proposal. Is that good wording? Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
The only thing I would have to add is I think you've done a pretty darn good job, gentlemen, of laying it out there. I mean, it's pretty step by step. It's not perfect, but I don't know of anything that is, to be honest.
And there's gonna be some unanswered questions in there, there's gonna be some unknowns that we run into, and that's just part of running a fire department. But I feel like me and Joey can come together to make those minor adjustments as we need moving forward. And if you guys see any kind of adjustments that need made or things that need changed, please just let us know. And we're always available for questions, and if you need more information, please let me know and I'll get you any kind of information you need from the department.
Okay, if no further discussion, we need a roll call vote.
Coulter,
Aye.
McAdams,
Aye.
Perry,
Aye.
Wallander.
Aye.
Thank you.
So am I missing something here, or are we just skipping over the fact that we're throwing in a new infrastructure for the fire department and not saying why?
Oh, yes, Jason Tabor has resigned.
Okay.
Guess that's what we should have announced first. Apologize, Jason.
We used to do that in open session, except didn't approve it. But yeah.
Next item is the CDBG block grant. This is an application followed by the resolution authorizing the mayor to sign the application. And this is for,
So I can just like.
I'm gonna read it. The city of Mountain View, herein referred to as the city, is located at State Highway 17 and US 60 in the middle of southern Missouri. The majority of the work that has been identified in the PER is located at Wayward Park, an existing LWCF protected park. This is Wayside Park. And there's a committee in Mountain View that has been working on obtaining funds that could be the local match on any grant that the city might get for an all-inclusive park up there. It's based on the structure, something like West Plains is, but as I understand West Plains, there are still some disabilities that cannot access anything over there. But this is supposed to be totally inclusive for everyone.
Is this the same grant that we was getting 3 years ago and then it didn't go through?
It's several years ago, as I understand. I think it was longer than 3, but yes, it's one that did not go before.
Might have been 4.
Sometime.
So they're going to
But
restructure a park for all?
the existing park and playground equipment, it's gonna have some walking trails, what proposals that they have brought to the city.
Is,
But it's all inclusive.
so this would go to help with what they've already raised?
Right, I think this applies for 100% funding with no match, is what this states, but land and water conservation grants typically have a 25 to 50% match, and that's what that committee is working on. They're getting pledges, none of the work can be done prior to if we would get the or get the grant, then anything that donations, money-wise that they've collected, in-kind services, anything that goes towards that project would be considered a local match. I mean, the money that they have collected, they would have to give to the city to be part of that local match. But Michael McBride is heading that committee, and they've really been working on it.
Isn't
And have
that,
some good,
is that the guy that came and talked to us that one time?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
I couldn't remember his name.
yes. Because that Wayside Park, the pool, the golf course is all part of that LWCF. Protected park. So, you've got a copy of the application. And if there's no further questions about the application itself, then we can go on to number 3 and have the resolution read. Do you have a copy of it out on the table also?
Yes.
So it can be read by title only?
A resolution authorizing filing of an application with the Missouri Department of Economic Development Community Development Block Grant Program for COVID-19 relief funding.
And I just want to read the now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Mountain View, Missouri as follows. Authorization to apply. The Mayor of the City of Mountain View, Missouri is hereby authorized to prepare and submit an application to the Missouri Department of Economic Development for Community Development Block Grant, COVID CDBG CV funds on behalf of the City of Mountain View. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make that motion.
I'll
It's-
second it.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion or further questions?
I noticed on page, I assume, I don't know, the bottom is, I don't know, it's just the second page of it, I think. It says there, the city has applied and have been accepted for an LWCF grant to upgrade the pool, blah, blah. The grant will require the city to contribute $250,000 in cash. We've already had the pool done. So my question is this, why is that still in there, or is that just part of the, just nomenclature of saying such, and are they gonna take that away from the $1 million that we're looking at here?
I don't believe so. We will have to have this page corrected in the first place because they've got Wayward Park.
Okay.
And we can ask that, it looks like,
Well, it says right here,
It's
it's
talking-
currently offline because of damage to the line or the pump system, so this must have been made prior to the pool
Right,
being redone
right, and it
anyways.
even talks about the stormwater issues and sewer collection, so these are, it's more like the history.
Well, that's what I was wondering, is that, you know, I don't have, why would we not want $1 million, but my question is, if this-
I will ask about that box.
I know before, because they had that one grant on the pool, and when they was talking about before, Calvin, that was gonna be omitted out of there because they'd already okayed
Right,
that.
I mean, it's already been done, and that's what I was wondering, I didn't wanna have to come up with $250,000
I did.
for use of,
No.
cheap, you know, I mean, it's, yeah.
You will check into that,
Yes,
Mayor?
make sure that everything's correct on the application,
Yeah.
because it was prepared by Trent Courtney from Skoko, so,
Yeah, the back's got the tennis court and everything else on it as well.
yeah,
No.
I'm thinking
And
this
this
is,
is Wayward instead of Wayside.
yeah. So we'll get any typos corrected or anything that does not belong in there for the LWCF.
I don't, David Evans still our representative?
Pardon?
Is David Evans still our representative? I didn't think, I thought he had,
I think he was when all of this here COVID
And that's what I'm wondering if this is, because it does say COVID-19 application.
And then that's when it all started back, when the COVID.
I mean, that's fine, if we can still do it that way, then
And
let's
I
do
think
it.
he was part of getting all this COVID refund and, you know.
Like I said, that's fine, if we can do that, let's just,
For reporting purposes. I will go over this with him
okay,
because
yeah,
I didn't come back until today, so
right.
I will confirm all with Trent Courtney before I sign the resolution. But we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Please, let's have a roll call vote.
Coulter,
I,
McAdams,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Wallander,
Okay, thank you. Okay, now the CDBG LMI survey is on the agenda. Do you have something to address?
This is a packet of 60 of the surveys that need to be filled out, that you had all said you wanted to go door to door and do. Is there any questions on how to fill them out? This is my survey. My address is on this list. So I filled it out there as an example. You can pass it through, and then whoever, do you want me just to give each person a page of addresses?
on our side.
Okay, well, they're by alphabet.
And whatever that tracking number is gonna have to be on each one of those pages.
Yes, when you get that page, I'll get it from Calvin, and I have one page left.
Oh, here, I'm sorry.
You two can divvy that up.
Did you need me to pass
Yeah.
this up? Okay, there, all right, I'm sorry.
I wrote the number here on the corner of the page, that's the only oddball thing. The number on the left side here, there's a house number in column B. Just write that number there, because when you give these all back to me, I have to put them in the spreadsheet.
Right at work.
Just write the number on the corner. See,
Okay, the number of,
and I'm on your list, so there you go. You're done one.
the number of,
That house.
the house number or
Side,
just,
what the crap.
No, the house one.
okay, all right.
Just write that on the corner anywhere, so that I can put it
The
in the
house
spreadsheet.
number?
Yeah,
Because
it
that would be
gave them,
double.
it gave them a voluntary number. It gave them an arbitrary number. Like
Oh,
my
you're not
house
talking
number
about
is
the-
108.
Okay, the property numbers.
Yeah,
Your
the property number.
Okay, so just write the one on the left on the
Well, she's saying this one here.
Yep.
Well, she wrote
Then,
108 on
let me
hers.
see.
Yeah, 108 is
Do
my
we need
number.
different ones?
So we would write this number.
So it's not
Yeah,
column B
okay,
then?
that's fine, all right.
You said it
I
was
just
column
didn't
B.
want to go
Column
into
B.
the same
Your
thing.
column B
is
is
here.
this number.
And they've divided
I
it
should
up,
have made.
so that's
The
fine.
108
Yeah, that's
is over
fine.
here though,
Yeah.
not here. That's
This is-
613.
Oh, well, it writes 613 there. I had a long day.
It's okay, so we need to write 613 on that.
613
Oh, I
is
thought
my
this was
number.
the property.
Well, if you accidentally write the wrong one, I'll have you copy this to me. So just write that
So we're
number.
writing this number here?
Yes,
And
that
not
number
this
there.
number, because this is just a number of how many.
Yeah.
Right, that's the,
And we got
Property
201.
You're 1 through.
And we really don't fill these out, we have them to fill it out.
Okay.
You
And
can fill them out
Sure,
very
we're all
simply.
good.
It's,
Yeah, I mean, well, I know.
So
we
we
can
can
know
do
how
that.
many people,
You
They
know,
did say we could fill them out for them?
mhm,
Okay.
number of families, number of persons, how many people in each family, and then compare the families to this chart. Yeah, just,
this LMI survey is to, CDBG determined last year that the city of Mountain View was no longer eligible for CDBG grants because our low to moderate income level had gone from 47 to 64, I believe it was, and it must be below 51%. And the only way to dispute this is to have another survey. First time we sent them out, we didn't get enough back. We do have to have 66, I believe, out of this 201.
66 apps?
66, 60,
51%.
well, we have to have 66 back,
Right.
and then 51% of that has to be. But we have to get 66 responses back to send back to CDBG.
And we need these as soon as possible.
Yes, I mean, it won't be for this funding year, but we
What
need
is
them
the
back as soon
timeline?
as, there's no definite timeline on it that I've been given.
Just as soon as we can get them to them, because we're late.
Yeah. Okay, well,
So
this
these-
weekend would be
these
a
are
good
rest-
one because of Pioneer Day, so
This is,
I want to make sure.
these are not just east
I
side,
have a
west side,
question.
so they're all mixed up.
Yeah, they're alphabetical on that list.
To our attorney. Now then, we take these to the address, boom, we walk up. If they're there and they decide that they want to go ahead and fill it out, are we allowed at that point to take it from them and turn it in? Or do we have to just say, no, you have to mail this in the city?
I don't know enough about them to be able to answer that. I've never actually seen one or any of the instructions for them.
Did they send, because there were new CDBG guidelines coming out, is one reason they were delayed in getting us back our required 200.
They sent.
Did they send the guidelines?
Yes, and they said we can fill them out and bring them back to me. We can give them to them and they can send them back, or they can bring them into City Hall. You can do whatever.
Just
If they want to fill it out and bring it to City Hall, they can do that.
Well, they can sign them if they wish.
Yeah, signatures are optional. That's why you have that arbitrary number.
But if they fill it out, we are allowed to bring it back.
Yes.
Okay, that's, I didn't want to stand there and go, hey, well, okay. Jamie, what are you doing? Maybe, I might need some backup at some of these addresses, I don't know, but I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Call me.
Okay, does the
Call me.
council have any more questions about this? I mean, there's no decision to be made, but guess if you come up with any questions, contact Terry.
We don't need them.
Okay.
Probably not this weekend because it's Pioneer Days, but
That's what I was saying, since it was Pioneer Days, it's probably best to wait till the following. Because everybody's, you know, majority of them's not gonna be home, and then after they get home from that, they're not gonna wanna mess with anybody coming to the door.
I'll work on it through the week and I get a lot of mine done.
if you get them.
Okay. If nothing further on that, let's go to number 5. We need to set a time for work sessions on the personnel manual and the employee code of ethics. I don't have a calendar in front of me, so.
So our meeting is going to be on the 7th of
No,
October.
14th.
No, our next regular meeting is the 14th of October.
Oh, because it falls on Wednesday, 14th.
Does anybody have a preference of a day or time? I know October the 8th. I won't be available.
What about the week of the 21st or 22nd?
We don't want this before the next meeting? Is that what we're shooting for, to get this before the next meeting?
If you want to, adopt it by the next meeting, we would have to do it before.
Yeah, we could work on it before then and then adopt it at the next meeting.
So what about Tuesday the 7th then?
That would be fine with me.
Tuesday the 7th at 5:30 for a work session on the personnel manual and the code of ethics, employee code of ethics. just gonna set that as a consensus from all of us.
Is everybody else okay with that date?
I believe so, no one's, any
I can't
opposition?
say anything, because I have jury duty for the month of September and October, so I have no clue. 5:30, it might, I don't know whether I have to last. They just let you know like 3 or 4 days ahead of time. That's all I can do is say yes, and I guess
Well,
I'll be
let's set
my
it,
kitty.
let's set it for Tuesday the 7th at 5:30, and then you let us know.
Well, I mean, I
If you're
should just
not-
have to be late getting here, I mean,
Well, we could always move it up to 6 if that would be okay with you. Better.
it does,
It
what
don't
I'm
matter.
saying, it doesn't matter,
Right.
because I have,
Okay.
Okay, that is everything in the open session except for number 6 would be, this is more or less an announcement, although the meeting agenda was put in your packet. The loan for the state revolving loan closed today with our bond council, and the interest rate remained at the 1.56 that we've talked about for several years. So our wastewater rehabilitation, our wastewater collection system, which is the sewer, rehabilitation project has made a great stride. And on Tuesday, the 30th, at 10 a.m. in these council chambers, Horner and Schifrin, the engineer, will be holding the pre-construction meeting. And at that time, the contract between the city and the contractor will be signed, and the notice to proceed. This bond issue was passed in 2020, and we will be going to construction in October. And I am very thankful for this, for the city of Mountain View.
Finally.
Yes. Okay.
Have we learned when we're gonna get reimbursed on that loan?
No, but as soon as all the other documentation is taken care of, and they give us a green light, then we'll just submit. I assume that we'll get the request for reimbursement from the engineer each time. That's the way the airport one has worked, anyway.
Okay.
And those invoices will be, because the loan to Simmons should have been taken care of today with that closing. And then when the money is released, then that'll be the first thing that we put in is the invoice for what we paid. And there's another invoice for Horner and Schifrin, but that's all included in that loan and the grant, so we're good to go. It'll just be on their time frame. That's the only bad part. So, before we go into closed session, I want to make a couple of announcements. I'm just going to move that up. Hope that doesn't get us in trouble. But I want everybody to look, if they haven't, the work that was done on the bandstand down here by the Chamber of Commerce. It's all painted, re-roofed, the lattice work repaired, and it looks really great. Friday night, the Community Betterment is sponsoring a ham and bean supper with soup. And Saturday is Pioneer Day, beginning with a pancake breakfast and it's ending with a parade. Those are my announcements. Okay. Now we need a motion to go into closed session for personnel.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Coulter,
Aye.
Adams,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
Wallander.
Aye.